If you've ever wondered what peace looks like when the cameras stop rolling, step inside David Letterman's New York farm, a peaceful country place where fame fades and simplicity reigns. Nestled among the gentle mountains of the Hudson Valley, it's a world of morning light, open fields, and the steady rhythms of a man learning to live by the land instead of laughter. But before this peace, there was a career that reshaped television, and a voice that shaped generations of comedy. David Letterman was born on April 12, 1947, in Indianapolis, Indiana. He grew up in a modest neighborhood, the son of Harry, a florist, and Dorothy, a church secretary. His father was his greatest inspiration, warm, funny, and sincere in every way. When Harry died of a heart attack at age 57, David was plunged into quiet grief. That loss shaped the sense of humor he is known for, sharp on the outside, but gentle on the inside. At Ball State University, David Letterman studied radio and quickly fell in love with the unpredictable energy of live television. He was by no means polished or conventional. He was sharp, sarcastic, and had no tolerance for formality. When he was fired from the college radio station for mocking classical music, it wasn't rebellion. It was his innate sense of humor. Even then, he knew what made him different. His first real job was as a weatherman in Indianapolis, where he couldn't resist turning every forecast into a joke. He made up stories, made predictions, and both surprised and delighted audiences. For Letterman, television was just a playground. But by the mid-1970s, he wanted more. Friends suggested he try Los Angeles, so he loaded up his car, grabbed some demo tapes, and headed west to pursue the possibilities. Los Angeles wasn't easy. He performed at the Comedy Store, often the same night as Jay Leno and Robin Williams. He was awkward, self-conscious, and never sure whether the audience was laughing with him or at him. But that awkwardness became his style. Before long, his dry sense of humor caught the attention of Johnny Carson, the biggest name in late-night television. When Letterman finally appeared on The Tonight Show, Carson saw something rare, a comedian who didn't need to please anyone. He just spoke frankly and quietly did his job. In 1980, NBC gave him his first show, a morning comedy series that critics praised but audiences didn't really understand. It was too quirky, too clever, too early in the day. After 4 months, it was canceled, but the failure proved he could host a show. He just needed a better time slot. That opportunity came in 1982 with Late Night with David Letterman. Airing after midnight, the show broke all the rules. Silly jokes, elevator races, interviews that felt like mind games. Letterman turned late-night television on its head. He mocked the talk show format and made it his own. To a generation of young viewers, he was the anti-host, genuine, awkward, and genuine. Then came the turning point. When Johnny Carson retired in 1992, many expected Letterman to take over The Tonight Show. Instead, NBC gave it to Jay Leno, a move that stunned everyone. Letterman left CBS and launched The Late Show in 1993 at the historic Ed Sullivan Theater. The ensuing rivalry would shape television for years, a story of pride, ambition, and perseverance. For decades, Letterman dominated late-night television. His interviews could be sharp or surprisingly gentle. He made politicians sweat and comedians feel seen, but fame never made him comfortable. Behind the jokes was the same quiet man from Indianapolis, curious and a little shy. After more than 6,000 episodes, he said goodbye in 2015. Nearly 14 million people tuned in, not just for nostalgia, but to thank the man who made truth funny. Today, Letterman sports a long beard and a calm smile. His Netflix show, My Next Guest Needs No Introduction, replaces jokes with real conversations with the likes of Barack Obama and Volodymyr Zelensky. He now listens more than he talks, from comedian to storyteller. For a man who spent years standing in front of millions, peace comes from fields, not applause. Away from television, Letterman has found his new home, a quiet farmhouse in New York, where life finally slows down. Inside the New York farm. Located on Vale Lane, one of North Salem's most picturesque streets, David Letterman's farm feels like a quiet world away. He first purchased the 88-acre property in 1994 for $5.7 million, then added 20 acres next door in 1995, 2007, creating a 108-acre country retreat. Today, the property, currently valued at $6.2 million, remains one of the Hudson Valley's most private and admired estates. Designed by architect Tassos Kokoris, the home combines classic American craftsmanship with the laid-back charm of rural New York. From the street, cedar shingles and a stone facade give the home a warm, natural texture that blends easily into the hills. A long, tree-lined path leads to the main house, elegant yet casual, nestled among ancient oaks, shrubs, and lush meadows where the fresh air is endless. At first glance, the house feels timeless. Columns, white arches, and large windows create a balance between formality and comfort. On clear afternoons, the porch glows softly in golden light. Behind the house is an infinity pool that stretches to the horizon, its waters reflecting the sky. Slate paving and neatly trimmed hedges frame the view, while the nearby outdoor kitchen, with a built-in oven, bar, and shaded living room, turns summer evenings into easy gatherings of food, laughter, and light. Inside, the tone shifts from luxurious to casual. The front door opens to a bright foyer with oak floors that shine in the natural light. The living room, centered on a large stone fireplace, is simple and cozy, furnished with a cream sofa and soft beige rug. French windows open onto the terrace, allowing gentle daylight to filter throughout. In one corner is a black grand piano, elegant, private, and casual. The kitchen has a similarly relaxed feel. The vaulted white ceiling gives the room an airy feel, while cherry wood cabinets and open shelving add warmth. A long marble island sits in the center, surrounded by leather stools, perfect for a quick breakfast or a late-night conversation. Stainless steel appliances are paired with rustic accents, copper pans, spice racks, and a window framed by greenery in the distance. The adjacent dining room has a more traditional feel. Olive green walls, a crystal chandelier, and vintage paintings create a cozy, classic space. The long oak table, slightly worn at the edges, evokes family dinners and conversations that lingered long after the plates were cleared. Upstairs, the master bedroom exudes a peaceful, relaxing atmosphere. Pale beige walls, soft linens, and a wool blanket at the foot of the bed create a warm, intimate atmosphere. A small fireplace glows softly on cold nights, while French windows open onto a balcony overlooking rolling fields and grazing horses in the distance. Next to it, a quiet office with oak shelves and west-facing windows provides a space for reflection, a corner for slow thinking and long sunsets. The lower level has been transformed into a private retreat. There's a private gym, a small living room with deep armchairs, and a poker room hidden behind soundproof doors. A compact kitchen and cozy living room create a self-contained feel, more about quiet relaxation than ostentation. With 6 bedrooms, 7.5 bathrooms, and 7 fireplaces, the home feels spacious without being extravagant. A natural, peaceful palette of soft whites, sand tones, and warm woods ties every room together. Linen drapes, wool rugs, and smooth marble surfaces add a sense of serenity, while soft light filters through the spaces, creating a balanced, relaxed feel throughout. It's a house built not to impress, but to breathe, where every corner feels touched by time, every window opens to calm, and the quiet itself becomes part of the design. And when he's not in North Salem, he's usually in Montana, a place quieter than anywhere else, where the air feels cleaner, the stars shine brighter, and life slows down just the way he likes it. Ranch in Montana. The road to David Letterman's Montana ranch begins quietly. Past the gate on Eden Road, The gravel driveway stretches between open fields, where the grass moves with the wind and the mountains sit far in the distance. The land covers 2,700 acres near Choteau in Teton County. Wide, quiet, and steady. It feels like a place made for long days and early mornings. At the end of the road, the house stands simple and solid. Built in a modern ranch style, it blends stone, timber, and glass into the landscape. The stone, imported from Italy, France, and Turkey, gives the walls a warm, natural tone that changes with the light. From every side, large windows frame the Rocky Mountains, letting the outdoors become part of the house. Inside, the layout is open and calm. The living room sits under vaulted ceilings with a stone fireplace at the center. It's the kind of room built for comfort. Nothing loud or fancy, just space to sit and breathe. The kitchen nearby holds Wolf appliances, a Sub-Zero refrigerator, and polished tile floors. It's practical, bright, and clearly made for everyday living rather than display. The house includes 5 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms, each one looking out toward the land. The master suite keeps the same tone: quiet colors, natural light, and a deep stone tub that fits the slower rhythm of this place. Down the hall, a heated 3-car garage opens directly to the trails. From here, Letterman can take an ATV or a horse and ride for miles without leaving his property. Around the main house, the ranch comes alive. There's an 800-square-foot barn with a carport, 2 horse stables that can hold up to 9 horses each, and a large hay barn beside 6 grain silos. 7 natural springs run through the land, feeding 4 water tanks and keeping the pastures green even in late summer. The area itself is full of quiet beauty. The ranch lies near the Lewis and Clark National Forest and the Bob Marshall Wilderness Complex, where hiking, fishing, and hunting are part of life. Mule deer, waterfowl, and antelope often pass through, and the Missouri River is only a short drive away for fly fishing. Today, he and his family still split their time between the 2 farms, enjoying the peace and distance from city life. As the wind moves through the grass and the horses graze in the distance, it's easy to see why he keeps coming back. This ranch isn't about luxury. It's about space, silence, and time. Beyond the quiet fields, there's another side to him, one that runs on engines and old stories. Let's head into his world of cars. Car collection. His favorite is an Audi Q5, a car worthy of a man tired of chasing the spotlight. Most mornings, he drives through the back streets of North Salem with a cup of coffee and no agenda. The 261 horsepower engine hums softly, built for silence, not applause. On foggy mornings, it glides over the hills like part of the landscape. Valued at about $55,000, it's simple, reliable, and well-fitting. A car for someone who values peace over fame. In the garage, everything is timeless. A Delahaye 135, a 1930s French masterpiece, hand-formed steel, polished chrome, curves like art. He saw it at auction years ago and just stood there, silent. When he finally bought it, he drove it not on the street but on a winding road near his farm. Priced at more than $1.5 million, the Delahaye isn't about speed. It's about devotion, to craftsmanship, to beauty, to memorable moments. Nearby is his 2012 Ford Focus Electric, a car that reflects his quiet pragmatism. He bought it long before electric cars became fashionable, drawn to the idea of simplicity, sophistication. With a 107-kilowatt electric motor and a range of about 76 miles, it's not meant for long trips or attention. It's designed for grocery shopping, running small-town errands, or living life easily. The $40,000 sedan represents something rare in show business: restraint. Finally, the mainstay, the Nissan Frontier. No ostentation, no show, just durability. With a 310 horsepower V6, it carries tools, food, and whatever else he needs for the day. He bought it after leaving The Late Show, his first week driving without going anywhere. For around $35,000, it has become part of his daily routine, a reminder that comfort doesn't have to be complicated. You can imagine, he gets out of the Nissan, dusts it off, and gets in like it's just another day. A simple man, a simple ride. But his bank account? That's a whole other story. Now let's take a look at David Letterman's net worth, the result of a lifetime of hard work and smart moves, income and net worth. David Letterman is now worth an estimated $400 million, a figure that feels less like a jackpot and more like the long echo of 4 decades behind the desk. His fortune didn't arrive in a single moment of fame, but in steady layers of work, timing, and the rare talent of making late-night television feel alive again. At his peak, Letterman was earning close to $50 million a year, a mix of licensing and syndication royalties from Late Show with David Letterman. Those numbers reflected more than ratings. They captured an era when his wit and unpredictability became part of American culture. Even after his final sign-off in 2015, reruns and syndication deals continued to pay quietly in the background, the kind of invisible success that mirrors his low-key lifestyle today. But television wasn't his only engine. Off-camera, Letterman built a portfolio that would make even Wall Street nod. His production company, Worldwide Pants, became a quiet powerhouse, not only producing his own Late Show, but also hits like Everybody Loves Raymond, which earned over $1 billion in syndication revenue over time. Letterman's ownership stake is estimated to have brought him around $100 million, turning creative control into enduring financial strength. Then there's the real estate, an empire disguised as a retreat. His 108-acre North Salem estate cost about $10 million in total, $5 million for the original 88 acres in 1994, and another $5 million for the adjoining 20 acres in 2007, and is now valued at around $6.2 million. His 2,700-acre Montana ranch, purchased in the early 2000s, is worth an estimated $25 million, while his homes on Martha's Vineyard and St. Barth's are valued at roughly $15 million and $10 million, respectively. Each property is less an expression of wealth than a statement of retreat, money placed where peace grows. Letterman also followed his passions into business, co-owning Rahul Letterman Lanigan Racing, a top-tier IndyCar Series team valued at over $50 million. For him, it's not about trophies or headlines, but about the hum of machinery and the art of precision, the same instincts that once drove his comedy. Between that and his private car collection, worth an estimated $2 to $3 million, his investments have always circled back to movement, mastery, and control. He's mastered the art of building, careers, companies, and quiet empires. But what stands out most is what he's chosen to build beyond himself. Away from television and investments, Letterman's energy has found a new outlet in giving back. That's where his story takes its most meaningful turn. His generosity was understated, not in the form of fame, but in the quiet acts that rose above the applause. Through the Letterman Foundation for Civility and Caring, his strangely named but incredibly active charity, he gave more than $9 million to causes close to his family and heart. Education topped that list. Ball State University, the Indiana University where he first discovered radio, remains one of his biggest beneficiaries. Letterman's donations, estimated at $2 million, helped fund scholarships, media facilities, and creative arts programs designed to give young storytellers the kind of start he once struggled with. In addition to his alma mater, the foundation quietly supports organizations like the American Cancer Society, Doctors Without Borders, Habitat for Humanity, and the American Heart Association, which have collectively received between $6 million and $8 million in donations over the years. The latter is especially meaningful for Letterman, who underwent life-saving heart surgery in 2000. Each gift feels less like a celebrity gesture and more like a conversation about his past. The son of an Indianapolis florist who still looks back to the roots that shaped him. Even his humor finds its way into his generosity. In 2023, Letterman raffled off the original billboard from The Late Show to raise about $300,000 for Habitat for Humanity. It's a fitting symbol. The sign that once drew crowds now helps build homes. That blend of wisdom and compassion, turning nostalgia into impact, is Letterman. In the quiet rhythm of his philanthropy, you can glimpse the man, humble, cautious, and steady. Each donation is a thank you to the life that made David Letterman. The rest lives in his everyday life, family, peace, and the quiet of a man who has finally learned to rest. Personal life. David Letterman lives his life his way, slow, peaceful, and filled with the little things that make him happy. He spends most of his time on his farm in North Salem, New York, where he enjoys a laid-back lifestyle with his wife, Regina Lasco, and son, Harry. Mornings often begin with a walk around the farm or watching the animals. He is especially fond of his alpacas, gentle creatures who seem to fit in with the rhythm of life he has found for himself. Occasionally, friends come to visit, like Robert Downey Jr., and you can see them chatting in the pasture while walking their alpacas. It's that simple joy that fills his days. He's not an indoor person. Letterman loves to be outside, working in the yard, feeding his horses, or helping Harry with chores. When the weather is nice, he'll go fishing or drive to a baseball game. Other days, he just enjoys a cup of coffee with Regina in the morning sun. Their life is quiet and steady, built on the small moments that come with years of fame. Occasionally, he trades the farm for the sea. He and Regina spend time in St. Bart's, where he looks more like a retiree on vacation than the man who once dominated late-night television. Dressed in shorts and sandals, he is often seen on a boat or strolling around the marina, carrying groceries or chatting with locals. The island appeals to him because of its laid-back nature. No rush, no cameras, just sun and sea. He still makes time for meaningful work. His Netflix series, My Next Guest Needs No Introduction, keeps him intrigued. He travels, talks to people he admires, and stays connected without losing his quiet balance. Off-screen, you'll find him racing Indy cars with his team, Rahal Letterman Lanigan Racing, or catching up with old friends over coffee at a diner. Still funny, but now lighter. Since his heart surgery in 2000, he's taken better care of himself. He doesn't drink, stays active, and isn't afraid to talk about his worries or his age. But there's no bitterness, only acceptance. The fame may fade, but the humor doesn't. Today, Letterman's jokes echo through fields rather than late-night recording studios. If that combination of calm and humor resonates with you, please like, share, and subscribe. There are more unsung legends waiting to be discovered.